Today we'll talk about the last two rules of meme sakina. So we don't want to make a long introduction. So let's start. The first rule that we'll talk about today is the small merging or al-idgham al-saghir. Al-idgham al-saghir takes place if you find a meme sakina followed by a voweled meme or meme mutaharrika, and it has just one letter, which is the letter meme. So if you find a meme sakina followed by a meme with a vowel, so you should insert the meme sakina into the voweled meme, and it can take place in one word and between two words. It takes place in one word, as in the word alif lam mim. If you notice, the alif lam mim is read as alif lam mim. The letter lam ends by the meme sakina, and the letter meme starts by a meme with a vowel. So we will insert the meme in lam into the meme in meme, and this is a small merging in one word. It takes place also between two words, and in this case you'll find the meme sakina at the end of the first word and the meme with a vowel at the beginning of the second word. As in, for example, جاءكم موسى, جاءكم موسى. Here we will insert the meme sakina into a voweled meme and make the nasalization for two counts. Now we will move to the second rule and last rule of meme sakina, which is the oral clarification or al-idhar al-shafawi. If you notice, we have done one letter with the small merging, which is the letter meme, and we have done also one letter with the oral hiding, which is the letter ba. So we still have 26 letters, as in Arabic alphabet we have 28 letters. All the 26 letters are the letters of the oral clarification. And it takes place if you find the meme sakina followed by any letter of these 26 letters. And you have to take care that while your pronunciation for the oral hiding, if you find a meme sakina followed by the waw or the fa, you have to take care that you should or you must pronounce it clearly. Don't hide it, because they are near in the points of pronunciation. Now we will move to the screen and check the many examples of the oral clarification. Let's start. Actually, we have some letters from the 26 letters that you will find them only between two words, and they are 8 letters, and the rest of them you can find them in one word and between two words. The examples of the letters that are found only between two words are in al-jim, like وَمَا جَعَلْنَاهُمْ جَسَدًا. Here, meme sakina followed by the letter jim, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. And with the letter dal, for example, as in وَاتَّبَعَتْهُمْ ذُرِّيَّتُهُمْ, the meme here followed by the letter dal and between two words, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. And with the dha, as in وَهُمْ ظَالِمُونَ. And with the letter fa, for example, as in وَهُمْ فَرِحُونَ. And with the letter kha, as in أَمْ خُلِقُوا, meme sakina followed by kha, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. And with the sad, as in وَهُمْ صَاغِرُونَ. Here, the meme sakina followed by sad, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. And with the letter ghain, as in فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ. فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْر, meme sakina followed by ghain, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. And with the letter qaf, and it is the last example with the letters that are found only between two words, as in بَلْ هُمْ قَوْمٌ. بَلْ هُمْ قَوْمٌ. Here the meme followed by qaf, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. Now we'll move to the examples of the letters that are found between two words and in one word. The letter Hamza it can found between two words as in عليكم أنفسكم. عليكم أنفسكم. Here the meme followed by hamza, so should pronounce it clearly. And in one word as in الظمآن. الظمآن. Meme followed by hamza, so should pronounce the meme clearly. And with the tha as in أمثالكم. أمثالكم. And this is in one word. In between two words as in مرجعكم ثم. مرجعكم ثم. Meme ساكنة followed by tha, so should pronounce the meme clearly. And the following examples, we'll read them quickly and you will notice this. The dal is found in one word as in وأمددناهم. Meme ساكنة followed by dal, so should pronounce the meme clearly. In between two words as in عليهم دائرة. عليهم دائرة. And with that or that, for example, as in إلا رمزا. رمزا. With between two words أمزاغت. أمزاغت. With the sheen in one word أمشاج. أمشاج. The name is pronounced clearly. And in between two words لهم شراب. لهم شراب. And with that our طاء وأمطرنا. Between two words مسهم طائف. And with the kaf فيمكث. فيمكث. And between two words as in إليكم كتابا. إليكم كتابا. Meme followed by kaf. And with the noon as in أمنا. أمنا. Meme followed by noon, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. مستهم نفحة. Meme ساكنة, and you have known its symbol before that it has a sukun on top of it. مستهم نفحة. Meme followed by noon, so we should pronounce the meme ساكنة clearly. Now the rest of the examples with that are wow, and you have to take care with the wow and with the fa to pronounce the meme clearly. With the wow as in أموات. أموات. And between two words as in حسابهم وهم. حسابهم وهم. And with the ta as in أنعمت. عمت. Meme. Here the meme ساكنة followed by ta, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. And between two words as in أم تقولون. أم تقولون. With the ha as in يمحق. يمحق. And between two words as in أم حسب. With the ra we have أمرا and ربكم رب السماوات. Here meme ساكنة followed by ra, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. And with the sin as in تمسون. تمسون. And between two words as in فوقكم سبع طرائق. فوقكم سبع طرائق. Here the meme ساكنة followed by sin, so we should pronounce the meme clearly. And with that our dot as in وامضوا. وامضوا. And with the between two words as in ألفوا آباءهم ضالين. Here the meme ساكنة followed by ضاد followed by the letter ضاد, so should pronounce the name clearly. And with the عين as in أمعاءهم. And between two words as in هم عن اللغو. هم عن. And with the لام وأملي. وأملي. And between two words as in أم لهم. أم لهم. And with the ha as in يمهدون. يمهدون. Here in one word. And between two words as in برهانكم هذا. برهانكم هذا. Meme followed by ha, so should pronounce the meme clearly. Meme ساكنة. And the last example with the letter ya as in عمي. عمي. Meme followed by ya, so should pronounce the meme clearly. And between two words as in أم يريدون. أم يريدون. Meme ساكنة followed by ya, so should pronounce the meme ساكنة clearly. These are the examples for the 26 letters of the oral clarification. And I apologize for the many examples. I hope you have understood them. That's all for today. Wishing you have got some benefits. سلام عليكم.